Jeremy, why are you here at the picket line outside Euston Station today?
To support the rail workers in demanding security of their jobs and also a reasonable pay increase, because they've actually had a loss of income over the past 10 years.
This obviously, the strike comes in the context of the broader cost of living crisis, and it touches on other issues. It touches on tax avoidance. It doesn't just affect workers' rights. I mean, we're here because of the railway workers, but it goes much further than that, doesn't it?
Well, the cost of living crisis is really a crisis created by excessive profits being taken by very big corporations and rapid rise in prices, which of course has led to those profits in the first place, and continued underfunding of public services, as well as wage control by all big employers. And so most working class families are actually considerably worse off than they were 10 years ago. And the RMT, quite rightly, balloted their members, got support for this, and many who work in the rail industry are actually very badly paid indeed.
What do you think the motivation is from the government, the Conservative Party? Because chatting to the guys from the RMT here, they believe that they're negotiating in good faith, and they think the government actually is stirring up this dispute because it's politically beneficial to them. Do you agree with that?
It seems to be the case, because the train operating companies are in negotiation. Every time they think they're in negotiation with the RMT, then the government refuses to countenance any settlement or indeed to agree any change in the arrangements made to fund that settlement. Actually, it does also underline the nonsense of a railway system that we've all paid to invest in is effectively publicly built railway through Network Rail is publicly owned, and yet the profits taken out of it by some of the train operating companies.
During the Conservative leadership debate on Monday night, both Liz Truss and Rishi Sunak said that they would immediately outlaw strikes on essential public services. Why do you think they're taking that position?
Well, they're going against international law, they're going against the International Labour Organization conventions, they're going against fundamental rights of people, and what will happen is strikes will happen anyway, and they then into a whole legal situation. What I would suggest they do is read the history of the Heath government of 1970 to 74. The Heath government brought in the National Industrial Relations Court, locked up the Pentonville 5 dockers. Industrial action took place all over the country. 5 days later, the Pentonville dockers were released. A year later, the legislation was repealed.
Over the last few weeks, we've seen the likes of Eddie Dempsey, Mick Lynch taking to the broadcast media and outlining the case for redistribution of wealth for socialist politics. Why do you think it is that members of the RMT are doing that, and we're not necessarily hearing that from the Labour Party right now?
Well, the Labour Party's job is to set out a vision of a different and a better society, and I think we should be setting all that out. And I really do admire the way Mick Lynch and Eddie Dempsey do set out the case for a socially just world, a one that I absolutely share, a vision of theirs that I absolutely share, and that is where I think we ought to be.
Do you think Keir Starmer shares it?
Well, you'd have to ask him that.
I will do. Thank you, Jeremy. Cheers.